All right. Welcome, guys. Back to the Shimi podcasts. My name's Tsangakawe. Others apparently call me Toast.
Toast.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's
Almost
toasty.
everybody calls me Toast.
How's
Apparently,
it? What? You need to tell me.
no, but like I just literally had explained it. I don't know what episode that was, where the story
Uh,
came from, but
uh,
yeah,
I've heard it, but I didn't believe it. Because it sounds like there should be a cooler story behind
there
the name.
isn't. There is not. Like in case you thought there was like a cooler, you thought
The
it
background.
nothing. It's as plain as it is. Even the guy who gave me the name, he knows like, man, we should have done better. We should have something dramatic should have happened to avoid it. Just that was it was just plain
Honestly,
and straight up. So
honestly, that's still better than me. I don't have a
you
nickname.
really don't have like you don't have like
No.
initials or anything
Like MK was always taken by, like, my sister's also MK.
like Mortal Kombat.
So yes, and a segue into games. Maybe that's why I like games. Yeah, so she always had MK, and I had a few people in school call me Rusty. Yeah, you know who you are.
Rusty.
Yeah. Because I had like braids one time. Listen, it was like a joke, a
Damn.
meme that he turned into like a cool thing.
I have no idea what
Rusty.
rusty even means. Should have been like Rastafari or something, but rusty.
Technically, I can segue into games from Rusty because if you know Final Fantasy IX, which is one of my favorite Final Fantasy games, there is a character
What,
whose
Rusty?
nickname is Rusty.
Yeah, okay. We will not go in just yet. We will stay put before we go there. Just hold your horses, ma'am. Just hold your horses.
I haven't introduced myself.
Yes, so that's what I'm trying to get into. So no, we are shooting from Etc. Studios, just opposite Parkland Secondary School. So for all those that want to do branding, want to do cards, are they cards? Yeah, I want to do business cards, that would like to do posters around the city, in different towns, please do contact Etc. Studios on Facebook and where else? Facebook, LinkedIn, and WhatsApp. They have all those contacts there. You have the unfortunate pleasure of talking to Mapalo Salimu, probably
From
because he's at the
behind the
front
camera.
desk. He's behind the camera.
He's
No, he's
shy.
not.
He's shy.
Yeah, he's shy today for some reason. He got a tattoo.
He got a-
apparently.
Did he really?
No, he didn't.
Oh.
He didn't. He didn't.
You guys.
But if he got a tattoo, it probably a tattoo of the Shimi podcast. Probably a tattoo of the Shimi podcast.
That's like foreshadowing.
Yeah, but like, man, don't make it look like it's a bad thing. Hey, can pass us some water.
That's like foreshadowing for how naive I am because I genuinely believed that he got a Shimi podcast
Shimi
tattoo.
podcast tattoo, but where would it be though?
Yeah,
Would it be
where
on your butt? Would it be on your shoulder? Would it be like on your back?
your butt?
If you want to get to the two, I will put it where my mother wouldn't see it.
Oh.
I thought you were gonna say something like your collarbone. Or something. I don't know why.
Hey,
It's
it
so
it could mean two things. Where his mother can
Unless
see
you
it.
have a
I
shirt
don't know
like
about
mine, but technically, who's gonna see your collarbone?
I think on my very small bicep.
on your very masculine bicep.
Masculine. It's
Very
massive,
masculine.
guys.
It's massive.
At minimum
It's
20 inches.
gigantuous.
Just there.
Okay.
Because, I mean, it's right.
I guess so. But I don't know.
Shimmy
Personally,
podcast.
I even had a discussion with my
Mother.
no my significant other about
Okay.
whether to do a tattoo or like braids. She said braids. So
Really?
tattoo was out of the table. Yeah, but then I don't know with
Are
my
you a
head.
dread guy? Yeah.
I've always admired. No, I've admired the buns these guys do these days. They'll do like braids.
You'd look
Like
good
how
in a
Tinashe
bun.
did the whole
Yeah.
with the.
Maybe my
Is
mind is.
hairline that bad?
No,
It's
It's
fine.
not.
Have you seen?
It's
Have you
not.
seen receding hairlines out there?
They're worse.
Like they're worse. There are much worse people out there. There are much worse people out there. I can guarantee you. So yeah, just
Maybe my mind is just in gaming, but when you said a man bun, I thought of like
maybe okay, not a man.
the
bun,
ghost of no, actually the Sekiro.
no,
Man
we are
bun.
not, we are not going straight into what you want to
No,
talk
I'm like no. It's not because I want to talk about gaming. I
Mhm.
genuinely imagined you say that when you said a man bun, and when you mentioned Tinashe, I was like, oh yeah, he did that.
Yeah, he did that. That was the whole. I don't know if it was a phase. It was just him doing what he was doing. But look, it was cool. It looked good on him. But it could be also just that
It
doing that hairstyle is suited for certain heads.
Yeah.
So I've always imagined, even if I was to do it, like how
How you'd look.
how I'd look and which one I would go for. But I'd go for the same one where it's not bordering your whole head, just the top
In
of
the
the head,
sides.
and yeah, it'll be. I've always felt it would be cool. But if my mother watches this, no, this is Satan using me. Yeah, anywho.
You would look good. Sorry,
Anywho,
mom. Sorry,
anywho,
mom. I'm not a
anywho.
bad influence.
Anywho, Mwika. Yeah, as her name is Mwika, apparently. I gave away the
You
secret.
gave away the
So
secret.
today with me is a special guest. I've been trying to get her on the pod for some time
Forever.
because we wanted to do like a health topic, but not necessarily the one we're about to talk about, just a different one. It was it was it was it was very we're going left.
Yep.
It was very controversial. Let's just put it out there. Then we
Yeah.
realized, no, we're family friendly. We're not going to
Yeah,
talk about that.
yeah.
So we needed like a whole medical personnel that can have a perspective on it. And I was like, hey, I've got a friend, but that's the time we're in Lusaka. And we're just
Yeah.
getting started. So when you came back, I'm like, hey, she's back. Great.
Yeah, I'm back. And
Saturday.
I'm never here. So for like the audience, I'm Mwika Kaluma. I'm a 5th-year medical student at Levi Manoasa Medical University. Yeah, that's why he's talking about health. So yeah, the reason why he's been trying to get me on the podcast for so long is because majority of my time is in Lusaka, and now I'm back in Kitwe, back home. I've been here for a while, but we won't talk about that.
I mean,
We'll just act like
no, like
he was
now,
waiting
now,
for me.
now you're prompting people. But what does she mean by we don't talk about that? What do you mean don't talk about that? No,
Well, because you didn't invite me all this time. I've been here like almost 2 months. So that's why
Yeah,
I'm like,
but
we're
like,
not gonna talk about, we'll just say I just came and he invited me.
Yes,
Like
yes,
let's imagine I came last week.
And you're
Let's-
like, Mwika, please, now that you're here, please.
Exactly,
come through,
please.
come through.
Let's-
Please,
we need you.
And yeah, you did. So yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Now that we've got that cut out the way, let's go health.
Health.
Let's go health.
Health.
So today we are just going to dissect a little bit on just what's going on in the current landscape of like health issues in Zambia.
Yeah.
So that being cholera, we could talk a bit about anthrax as well. Is it anthrax?
It is anthrax. Actually,
Anthrax?
the main
Mhm.
epidemic is cholera because more people have died from it, and it kind of overshadowed the anthrax because anthrax started shortly before the outbreak was announced as an outbreak.
Imagine how it feels. It's like, oh, man, really? Like, I was dominating, and
Yeah.
it just came and just blew
And
past me.
I realized that like people here, because at the time when it like was there, the anthrax, I was in Osaka, and people here in Kitwe kind of didn't know about it. Like, obviously, I'm in medical circles, but even
Mhm.
outside that, there's so much talk of like hygiene, like eating meat off the street in Osaka. Listen, every street has a, what do you call it? Like those grilling meat places.
Yeah, it's got like a whole
A
section
bar
going
or
on.
whatever. Yeah. So a lot of people kind of like stop, like, no, I can't eat this because, anthrax. And that's kind of how it started. And when I came here, I was like, wait, you guys don't know that people are scared of anthrax back this side?
Man,
But
that's
yeah.
just here with a michopo and everything. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
But yeah, so cholera actually is it's bigger than anthrax. But I was interested to kind of talk about how they overlapped, and we're kind of having like a double epidemic in Zambia. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was interesting. A lot of people don't really know about anthrax being there, but yeah, we can talk about anthrax, what it is, why is it deadly, I guess, cholera, what it
probably
is.
for it to be like an epidemic, it must be deadly.
It is, but that's the thing with anthrax is it's actually a disease for animals. Yeah, cattle, goats, hippos, because that's actually, so the first case recorded for humans here last year before the epidemic was in Southern Province, I believe. Yeah, and they recorded that some people ingested a hippo that already had anthrax.
Mhm.
So the epidemic was contained in like the livestock side. Like there was anthrax with the livestock. So it's not like a human disease, if I can say that. It's not like common for us to have.
Anthrax, like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
man, you got anthrax. Oh
Yeah.
god, no, oh shoot.
Oh man, I was tested for anthrax and it's positive. So
okay.
so that's why. And then even like the figures, if you compare them to cholera, like a lot of people have died. I think over 400
Mhm.
people alone in like the last 3 months or something.
Okay.
Since October when this started, people have died compared to anthrax, where people did die, but I think there were only like 4 recorded cases, if I remember correctly, last year by June. And then, but there were a lot of like over 600 recorded cases, but the deaths were less. But yeah, we're here to learn. We're here to learn about what it is and what's happening, what's going on.
I think after this podcast, we should just call her Dr. Shimi.
Dr. Shimi, I
Yeah,
like that.
Just Dr. Shimi
I
from
like
now.
that.
So no, from now on, when we have like a crisis, health crisis, whether you are away or home, we'll be like, we have to call
Dr.
doctor.
Yeah.
We'll be like,
Call
oh
the doctor."
no, we don't know. Let's talk to Dr.
Dr.
Shimi.
Shimi.
Then you have a podcast and you're like, hi guys.
Hi guys, it's Dr. Shimi. I'll be on the phone. Hello. Should I have like a, what do you call those? A theme song?
Yes, you have like a
Dr. Shimi.
And then you have your kama cotton, your kama.
I should have.
What's it?
I should have. The lab coat and the
Yeah,
stethoscope.
stethoscope there, and then you're just like, don't do this, boys and girls.
No.
But
That would
anywho,
be ridiculous.
yeah, but anywho, yeah, we'll talk about that, and also she is a very, very good gamer.
Thank you.
I would have used the phrase of a famous gamer, but no, we are all just low key. The gaming
Very
society
low-key.
in Kitwe especially is very small. It's small.
You'd think it's bigger elsewhere, but no, it isn't.
Exactly, because it's so
Even
it's small,
even in
it's small,
Lusaka,
small.
yeah, even in Lusaka, like I'll give an example of just like my experience. I don't know about other people, but even in Lusaka, I have like a few key friends that I know that like to game, and I kind of sort of all knew them from the same point where I buy my controllers from. And even when I go to buy anything, controllers, whatever, buy a game, it's always mostly guys, and I'm like the one girl. Or like there's only one other girl. And even the guys that I would talk to would just talk about Mortal Kombat and FIFA. And I swear, I'll go there and I'm like, hey, do you have I'll give an example. Do you have Elden Ring? I remember actually, yeah, when Elden Ring came out, the game that you saw me playing, yeah. I went there. I went, do you have Elden Ring? He's like, yeah, I have it. How much is it? I think it was like 60 questions. I was like, oh, okay, cool. You play? Do you even know that you play that game? What's that game? Some people didn't even know what it was. And I'm like, yeah, the gaming scene in Zambia is it's small because we're just so focused on the very same games. FIFA tournament, it's FIFA. MK tournament, it's MK. Like even arcade games, no one even knows of like Street Fighter or whatever. Like unless you have a console and you're playing those games.
In like general. I think we'll dive that into it, especially when we just go general.
You
so
know
like
of
the
them?
history.
The history.
History of
Okay.
just how gaming has come into general Zambian society and whatnot. We can go into it there, but
Yeah, true. But but like a lot of people grow out of it. I think that's the segue I was trying to make is like in as much as you do play FIFA and MK, I play those as well, except for FIFA. I don't like FIFA. Even though even though people do play those things, a lot of people grow out of it.
okay.
There are people who are like, well, I no longer play FIFA because, I've grown out of it. And I'm like,
Sad.
why though?
Yeah, that's so sad.
Yeah.
That's so sad. That's so sad.
So
Anyway,
we'll talk
so I had
about
my
that.
hands raised up because I was like, let's talk about health. But then now you interrupted me.
Help! I'm sorry.
No, but it's okay.
Okay.
Cool. So, not to dive in like way too much. We've already talked about majority of it, but let's just
We can reel it back.
Yeah, we can reel it back and
Let's
just-
start with the basics. What is cholera? What is anthrax?
Yeah.
Do you know? Like, honestly, I asked.
Do I know what
because
do I know what cholera is?
Because everyone talks. Like, even you know what cholera is. Hell, our dog at home knows what cholera is.
Well, yes, I'm behind. Good cholera. Sis, what? Like, what does bingo got to do with what does bingo got to do with
Poor
cholera?
Bingo.
Yeah, man, like poor bingo, man, leave him alone.
Yeah, but what do you know about cholera? Then I can start from there.
Damn, I'm going to say something very ignorant, but as far as I know, it's a waterborne disease. Is it right? Yes, I my need to knowledge. I remember my words.
What about it?
No, it's a waterborne disease.
No,
Like half
there's-
shame. But yes, no, I do know it's a waterborne disease that is transmitted from maybe somebody infected to the next person if they do have the. I remember diseases stem from not is it not I don't say something very ignorant and then people laugh
No,
at me.
it's okay. We're here to learn.
Is it stemming from diseases stem from Is that disease stem from viruses? No, no, no.
Yeah. Actually, cholera is a virus.
It's a virus, then stems into a disease. Yes, so there's a cholera virus that if somebody is infected, can give the next person, and it can be
So
infected through water
yeah,
and through
yeah,
close contact and whatever. So that's as far as I know. Of course, we know the symptoms: dehydration, loss of energy, watery stool, vomiting,
yeah.
all those things. So I think that's as far as
As you
general
know.
knowledge I know of cholera, but not that I don't know it. I am aware of it.
Okay. Yeah, you're not far off. It is a
Okay.
virus. You can get it the way you said it.
Apologies, I did not come prepared for the questions he's about to ask me. Jesus Christ.
No, it's just banter. It's just
Okay,
banter.
okay.
It's all fun and games. We're friends here.
She wants to embarrass me. She wants to embarrass me.
Maybe. Yeah, you're not far off. It is a virus. The way that you phrased how people get it, maybe I could change a few things. But from like a layman's perspective, yeah, you can like it's not like I'll get it from you, like the virus will come into me, but it's through the same way that you said, the water. But how? There's a root called fecal oral root.
Mhm.
That pretty much means the water that you're drinking has
Shit. Well,
so
you just threw it to me there, so
so
I
the
had to.
infection comes. So you drink the water, and it has the virus in it.
Okay.
So you take the water, it passes through, blah blah blah, and the virus, what it does is it goes and attaches itself to the lining of your intestines. Now, that's where the tricky part of cholera comes, because it disturbs the balance of like, okay, electrolytes, your sodium, your potassium, yeah, it disturbs that balance, and basically you start losing a bunch of your electrolytes together with your water at like a rapid rate. And then so that's why, if have you ever heard of people saying that you die from, which is true anyway, you die from cholera because of the dehydration and not because of the infection. The
Because of
infection
everything.
causes the dehydration. How? Exactly what I explained. So you lose a lot of that water. So that's why they say rice watery
Curry
stew,
stew.
because it's not clear like this water,
Mhm.
but it's like not a milky, like it's rice water. If you've
Mhm.
ever washed rice and you see that color, that's the color you're gonna see if you have cholera. If you've never had cholera, so the rice watery stew is basically your body literally just like it's losing its
Using
water
its water.
because the
Okay.
sodium is going
Or
out.
probably that's even what's giving the color to the same watery stew.
Yeah, you could say that. So you were not far off in terms of the virus and in water and everything. Yeah, and that's why the hygiene part is important. How are you like? So the fecal oil root, it's not just water. That's why we talk about washing your hands, because your
Mhm.
hands might have
The same stuff.
exactly the virus, and then you eat it oral.
Damn.
So you ingest it, and then the whole process
The whole
happens.
process happens again.
Washing your fruits, drinking the water. So sometimes you'd be like, yeah, but I boil my water. How did I get sick? What other habits do you have? And it's really sad, just like from experience, not like research or anything, but it's
Mhm.
really sad the way that I have experienced how people live in Lusaka in relation to the epidemic, because it's not even that people don't have good hygiene, it's just the area itself is not
It's very
hygienic.
stuffed up.
It's stuffed up, yeah, there's a lot of people, but even just that, I'm sorry to say, but dirt.
Okay.
There's a reason why yesterday the health minister was in like Matero cleaning up the streets, is because
Mhm.
they really are that bad. Like you have to be in Lusaka to kind of experience even how bad the drainages are. Like I I won't name names of the area where it was, but
Could be Kanyama.
and people, I think I have told this story to some people who know this.
Mhm.
No, it wasn't Kanyama. I won't name names of where it was, but I literally was passing through
Mhm.
this small crowded area. Mind you, there's a lot of people in Osaka. This wasn't like a back alleyway where no, there's like a bunch of people also passing through. There's a bunch of restaurants as well near what I'm about to explain, and a bunch of bars and everything. I'm passing through this area that has a butchery, a fishery, a restaurant, bars. It's not paved, it's not anything. There's like puddles of water, there's a bunch of people passing. There's like a marketplace just afterwards where they're selling vegetables. I'm passing through, and I look to my left because I saw something moving in the water. I was like walking fast. It's not like a
You
stroll.
saw something
You
moving
don't
in the
stroll.
water.
You don't stroll in Lusaka. You need to move with purpose. People will. Ella. So I see something, and I kind of stop. So I'm walking fast, and I kind of stop. I kid you not. I kid you not. I have never seen that breed of maggot in my entire life. Like,
It
bro,
was in
okay,
the water. Damn.
the puddle of water, and there was like puddles, and this was the first time, even in Lusaka. So I'm not gonna mention the place where it was
Okay,
because
okay,
it's not
okay.
like all the time I walk, I see
I
maggots.
see.
That's why it caught my eye so much because and there were people I digress. So the maggots were like of a different breed. Okay, they were built different. Like they were on some creatine.
Yeah, they were just
like,
looking all pumped up, just like
yeah.
swimming in the fishes and
They
whatever.
had. How would you describe a maggot? Give me like a general size of what you think a maggot would look like. Like how small? Show me with your
Okay.
fingers.
I don't know. Maybe this size.
This size for the
I think.
audio listener. Do you have audio?
I think like this size.
Do you want me to tell you how big they were?
How big?
Okay, so
Yeah, because I would,
let me
say,
tell.
I would say.
This is small. It was low key a worm at this point.
Didn't you just? Weren't you looking like
No,
at
okay,
a
no,
fish?
genuine. Okay, no, but it was.
Yeah, it's a baby snake or something. Not thinking of a baby snake.
No,
Like,
but it was literally this size, not this size.
my word.
And I'm like, so, and it's not even because of, I can't even blame the people. It's yeah, my body moved as well. And people were moving because, like, it's not something that will catch your eye unless you really look. It really did. And shortly thereafter, a few minutes later, boom, I find the vegetable market. So,
You're like, okay, there's a lot of complexity going on here. Okay.
so it's really sad. And there isn't much that people can do about it unless just be there because people do like clean up their areas. But especially when there's like the drainage, because like you could tell the ground was wet and not just because of the rain. And there are like so many pipes that would burst. And, Lusaka, no, let's not call out people. Let's not say Lusaka was in storage, but yeah, there's so many pipes that would break and like, wouldn't be fixed, or the drainage is bad and water doesn't drain out. And what happens when you have puddles? Apart from the, mosquitoes and whatever, remember I told you there's butcheries, there's fisheries, there's a restaurant.
Whatever is going through those things is having to pass through those shops.
Exactly. So even just the area itself, I'm sorry I'm singling out Lusaka, just like I live there most of the time.
True.
You're gonna have to talk about cholera in Kitwe if
In fact, no, not that there isn't any case. There is
There is.
cases,
It's-
but
it's-
of course, it's
yeah.
not. We're not trying to say Kitwe is any better
No,
in
it's
terms
not.
of how they do their cleanliness, whatever. They're equally just as bad, but I feel like you've illustrated to say there's a lot of closeness. There's a
There
lot of
really
things.
is. It's overpopulation in there, and also just the area itself. I keep talking about the drainages. Even when you saw the health minister cleaning up, they were cleaning up drainages, and I can't like compare with Quito because our drainages work. The rains will come, washed away. You're never really gonna see floods like you see
Yeah, not
in
really
in
here
Lusaka.
because here things have really been put as much as we, will curse out the word of the council. You're not doing much, but of
Yeah.
course, because the way
But
the city is structured
Yeah.
and the way the drainages and everything is worked out, it sort of puts things in order. That there's
Yeah.
not much water running around.
There isn't
even
exactly
afterwards,
as
yeah.
compared to the structure there because it wasn't really built to house so many people. The population in Lusaka was not meant to have that many people. And yeah, but anyway, even though we've singled out Lusaka, the whole point of an epidemic is countrywide. So it's important to note that the cholera outbreak is an epidemic. It's not an endemic. There's a difference. If it was only isolated in Lusaka, I would call it an endemic. But because it's an epidemic, it's countrywide. And that's why people. So what happens is there's so many cases in so many different parts of the country that the hospitals were overwhelmed. Because remember, you have to take care of other people that have other sicknesses that are already there and all sorts of things. And there were so many cases of cholera that were coming. And I don't know if you saw that in the news. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know that now the patients were transferred to the stadium. Yeah.
True.
So it's not just a Lusaka thing. It is an epidemic. It's countrywide. And yeah, that's why it's important, yeah, to be sanitary and to keep good hygiene. But the structure in and of itself really has to be revised, because there's only so much that you can tell people to wash, like at every point, in as much as I talked about the maggot thing. But even the restaurant has, like, their bucket of water and their sanitizer and their soap there, and that's what they were told to do. So, at some point now we have to tackle the real issue. Why are we seeing this? Yes, okay, rain season, this happens. Okay, but then everything gets flooded and the drainages come out and the sewer. So what do we do? Okay, fix the drainages. Apart from that, no, people are throwing stuff in the drainages. Okay, we're going to stop that.
So if you're
You
going to
know,
like if you're going to stop that, give people garbage bins.
yeah,
Give
exactly.
people get people to be getting these garbage things.
There's
And then
only
the other issue again that comes up again in these tabloids and whatever is even if we're going to be collecting this garbage, we don't have enough
we don't
trucks.
have, yeah,
What on top of not having enough trucks, quite literally, there isn't anywhere to dump
to
that stuff.
yeah,
Because Lusaka is
it's no space.
there's no space. There's no space.
So
There's no
yeah,
space. Even the place where they take the stuff to dump is filled. That trash is going into now people's
people.
homes.
So yeah, so it's only so much that you can say about telling people to wash their hands. Like,
True.
always inform people, but even the structure on how you solve these issues has to be multifaceted. Like, okay, we've told the people on their end that they gotta wash, they gotta whatever, but then as a government, what have we done? And I think that's where the health minister yesterday kind of came in and said, okay, we've talked about sanitation, let's go in on the streets and see what's there. Okay, she was in Material, I think, level 1 hospital, I think. Yeah, and cleaned up the area. And you could see, obviously, they focused on, and I keep talking about the drainages because it is true, they suck and whatever, but they should focus on that, because during the rain season, that's what's gonna flood up, and all the sewer and
All the
every.
sewer is going to come right on top.
So then there's a mix, and even though you drink the water and then you get sick, a lot of people don't boil, they don't use chlorine. So yeah, you could really talk all day about cholera, to be honest,
Yeah,
and then
true.
we'll end up going into the politics of
And then
what to do with
is
the structure of
exactly
Lusaka,
because
what to do with.
then true, true,
Yeah,
true, true, true,
yeah.
true.
So yeah, so apart from sensitization, telling people to, because like we said, we talked about the root. How does it get into your system? It's important to stop it before it starts, because cholera can kill you quick.
Okay.
And
Is it
I
like
will
an hour?
say,
Is it in hours? Is it days?
so because you're losing it, you really can die within 24 hours, because you're losing so much water. It depends on how severe it is, and antibiotics at that point won't help. I'll tell you, even as we were learning, about the disease, antibiotics were not the first course of action that you'd think, to say antibiotics against the cholera virus. It's just as simple as you have to replenish the fluids that were lost, because the person would die. Like, your systems start to shut down, because the electrolytes that are needed are literally just wasting. They're going.
They're going. They're just pew pew pew
Yes,
pew.
exactly. You can't just drink the water, it will like run through you. So that's why the more important thing is to prevent it than to cure it, because curing it, by the time that you reach the hospital, you've lost so much that now we're trying to recover it, give you back your fluids, and it's a tough situation,
It's tragic.
especially, yeah, if your organs at that point now are failing, because your heart isn't functioning properly, or your kidneys are in acute kidney, yeah, injury, because you've lost so much. So it gets you quick. It gets you quick, and that's why there'll be so many deaths whenever there's an outbreak, because it seems so simple as wash your hands, guys, and people die. I hate to kind of compare, but I do want to talk about COVID as well.
Oh,
It
okay.
seemed so simple as wear a mask, but
Oh, okay, okay,
it
okay.
seems so simple as wear a mask, but at the end of the day, it saved you.
Okay.
So
I will hold you on that thought. We are going on a commercial break because apparently now we do commercial breaks when we are about to.
oh,
Yeah, we do commercial breaks. So the commercial break is sponsored by. I don't know if it's etc. or it's what is it by now?
Etc.
It's not. It's isn't it your clothing line?
Audacity.
It's
The
sponsored
Audacity?
Yeah, it's sponsored by Audacity. Yeah, they gave us this wonderful water. They gave
Oh,
us this
nice.
wonderful.
Go.
All right, and we're
we're
back.
back.
So, Audacity clothing. Get yourself a shirt. Get yourself a hoodies. What else? Get yourself a cap. All
Ooh,
from
you have hoodies.
he does, he does,
Nice.
he does, he does. They're really nice stuff. He doesn't wear them anymore. I don't know what happened between.
I will sport an Audacity hoodie.
No,
next time you
shirts as
see
well.
me.
Shirts as well.
Shirts as
and
well.
yeah.
I will contact. I'll contact
Yeah,
you.
you contact him. And
get one.
apparently, the rumor has it that he has been bankrupt, so he does not own it anymore. It's up for sale. So please do get into contact from him.
If you're bankrupt, can I buy it for like 1 kwacha? Technically, you
Yeah,
have negative.
He has negatives.
nothing.
He has nothing. He's been run out. Apparently, somebody, an Indian man by the name of Rashid,
Rashid, is
told
that
him
true?
told him to click on a link that had naughty things on it, and he listened, and yeah, they just.
You
saw
sure he
his
wasn't
money.
you sure he wasn't a Nigerian guy telling you to invest in this new crypto? Sent an email.
Like, I don't understand how we're so like, it's funny until you get scammed.
Yeah.
It's funny till you get scammed. Like, scamming is a serious business out there for people. Like, people are being scammed. Even just okay, in my line of. Okay, what happened?
No,
Okay,
don't
no,
tell
no,
in
no,
your
that's
line of
okay. That's a
work.
traumatic experience. I'm so sorry I asked them. But yes,
I was so traum- No, come it really did. It really I was at 800? I think it was 800. Yeah. Kwacha, but back
Yeah.
then it was a lot.
it was a lot. No, it's still a lot even now, man.
I know it-
I don't have a 100 on me right
I
now.
don't.
So yeah.
I don't want to tell the story. It will make me look even more naive than I than I probably already do.
Okay. Aside from the scammers out there, just a little side note on we already talked about cholera. You talked about where it stemmed from, its causes, how we can prevent it.
Did we talk about anthrax?
That's what I wanted to say. So could
Okay.
you just brief us a bit on anthrax, and
Anthrax.
also on the situation just in terms of on the ground on COVID,
Yeah.
because I hear it's back. So we could
It
just
never
dissect
left,
on.
but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's like that unwanted toxic ex.
Right?
It's just
That never wants
about,
to leave you. She's
like,
obsessive.
yeah, like, girl, I don't want you.
I
Like,
don't want you.
you do bad
We
things
don't
to
want
me.
you. Yeah.
But she's just still there sending you cakes and presents on
Like,
your birthday.
I know you take my breath away, but girl, that's bad.
But anyway, so we just
Mask
need to.
up.
Yeah, so we just.
Wrap it up.
Mask off! I thought you were going to say mask off. Like, future,
no.
Let's go to future song, mask off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Wrap up your mouth.
wrap up your masks, guys. Wrap them up. So,
double
yeah.
bag it. You know?
So, let's just talk
Two
about. Yeah,
masks.
so let's just
Love
talk,
you, Mapala.
yeah, let's just talk about.
Jesus Christ.
So let's just talk about those two things. We could
Yeah.
also just jump into other stuff as well.
No, I can briefly talk about
yeah, so
anthrax,
anthrax,
and then we
Anthrax,
jump into
COVID. Then let's just tackle a little health
myth
myths,
busting. Yeah.
myths, like just funny myths that are out there that are not true. Then we can just try and digress into what you really wanted to talk about here. Because I had to beg her for us to have a civilized conversation before I went to do something entertainment. Like,
I love
guys,
gaming. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but like it's like we brought you here so you could educate us.
Okay,
And
let
you're
me
like,
educate.
I don't care. I don't come here to talk about
I wanna
anime.
talk about- Listen, hey, I would have turned this whole episode into an anime gaming thing. Like, I don't care. It's like anime part 2. So you're lucky.
Oh yeah, they did do like a part 1.
Yeah, they did a part 1. So part 2 coming soon. People in the comments, please remind them every video if I'm not back. Like, hey, where is she? Where's the anime girl?
Where's the anime girl?
Where's the anime gamer
oh,
chick?
the Shimi stroke anime girl.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'll come with a shimmy tattoo next time.
Definitely.
Or like use a pen. So
Wonder
anthrax.
whether-
Let's quickly talk about anthrax and like we'll just like gloss over it because yeah. So anthrax is actually a bacteria.
Okay.
It's a bacteria that infects animals primarily, cattle, goats, the hippo that, started it all for us last year. So yeah, hippos, cattle, like basically animals.
Okay.
And it's what is known as a bacilli bacteria.
That's what
Or
it's
like a
called?
rod. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a gram-positive bacteria. That's
No
important.
idea what that means,
Gra-
but you go on. You
no,
go
it
on.
basically just means, so you know how like the cells would have like a cell wall.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know you've learned about cell walls in plants.
Yeah. This is
In
the only
school.
time that knowledge will come. At no point in my adult life have I been confronted
With
life
knowing
or
a
death
cell wall.
situation like, if you
Do
do
you know a
not
cell
tell me what a cell wall is, you would die. Never. Until now. So now biology in high school has now come into effect. Like, oh, I
It has
know
come
what a cell
into
wall
it.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, so the cell wall kind of is made up of what is known as like peptidoglycans.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's essentially gram-positive bacilli or gram-positive bacteria have like they have the same peptido. I hate when I can't say a word. Like, don't you hate when you know the word in your head? It's so big, and you're like,
yeah, just spill it over. Just leave it
yeah. So it has that cell wall, and that's like the main difference. It's important because in terms of like how it infects us, you could get it like, okay, you could you could inhale the spores or through like your skin contact, because these bacilli are in the soil.
Okay.
And that's how the cattle also gets it. What's important though, I'll use like kind of layman's terms. I'll say active and inactive so that we don't confuse anything and go into science. So you could say when it still has like, the cell wall and it's like it's inactive. Now, the problem comes in when it gets into the animal and it's in its active state. Now, active essentially means it's like releasing toxins into the animal, and that kind of like outer shell. Yeah. It's sort of not like the barrier. The barrier makes it inactive, and when it's not there, it's more active. So
Also,
it
okay,
talks.
if the same cell wall barrier is not
Yeah.
present.
Yeah, because it will be releasing the toxins into the animal. At that point, now it's in the animal's body. So it's like, why do I need this? Because it's like that in the soil.
Okay.
So now it's in the animal, it's infecting the animal. Now we have the toxins being released into the animal, and then the animal dies. That's the essence of anthrax. Anthrax is in animals. Now, the cases that were first recorded in Zambia were of animals. Like, there was kind of an endemic going on, or an epidemic going on where the animals had anthrax. So it was recorded. I saw on WHO, it was recorded that there were cases in Zambia, I think as early as May, of anthrax in the animals. Then come June, the first case of human anthrax last year, 2023, was recorded. And it should have been someone ate meat from a hippo that died from anthrax. So the anthrax was already there in the animals. That's
Also,
important.
because now the animal had died, and they got the meat from it, so the meat,
Yes. So there was an outbreak of anthrax with the animals, and then that was that crossover.
so that breakout or outbreak.
Outbreak, yes.
I don't know. I said breakout. Jesus. But that outbreak came as a result of people that had eaten the particular infected animals.
So that's what's recorded. That's what's recorded. So they ate the infected meat of the animal, and then they got sick. So there are other ways that you can get anthrax as a human, because like I said, I talked about the spores being in the soil, or like wool of an animal. I don't think we like keep a lot of sheep here in Zambia.
Not really.
No, but you can
Have you ever had
inhale
sheep?
it. No.
Really nice. I've had it before, so it's really nice.
No,
Like,
I
when
don't
you
even know
start,
what would it
like,
taste like.
it's mushy. Like the thing with certain, but it is. It's true. The thing with like eating different animals, because I believe Zambians have like maybe four basic animals:
I think so, yeah.
goats, chickens, cattle, uh,
Pigs.
pigs.
You mean like what we commonly eat?
What we commonly
Okay,
eat.
okay.
Yeah, so that's probably
I
it.
thought you were talking about like the
I don't know.
lion,
I
the
could put-
buffalo.
No, that's now different. But like you could add fish as well. So we just have
Yeah.
these
Oh,
five.
I love fish. That's
Yeah.
my
So you see,
favorite.
so we just roll around this, babe. Then there's always
Yes,
other
there's always, yeah.
foods out there and whatever.
To be honest, like if you hear, like, as you read an article and you say a man ate hippo meat and got sick, it sounds like, wait, what was he doing?
like,
But
bruh, what
that's
were you
game
doing?
meat. That's how game.
See?
Which leads me to, so with anthrax, right? Like, so WHO, just before like the outbreak of cholera got worse in October, so shortly before October, they came out and announced an outbreak in Zambia. So they said there actually is an anthrax outbreak in Zambia. By then, I think there should have been like 684 cases of anthrax. Don't quote me, but yeah, of anthrax. Yeah, and that was while the cholera thing was gaining hype. Cholera last year actually started in January.
Really?
Yes, but the outbreak itself was in October. Started in October. That's when they started to see an increase in the deaths,
That's when
and it
it,
started
yeah, probably
overwhelming
hit,
the
yeah.
the hospitals. Yeah, but we had been seeing it in January, and I do remember some of my colleagues, because I have classmates that do work still. They like, because I'm studying, sorry, medicine and surgery. I did not mention that. 5th year medical student, MBCHB. So I have some classmates that are clinical officers or like medicalization. So they do have jobs on top of being a student, and they had been talking about cholera since like January. They're like, guys, hey, it's like, it's getting bad. We've
It's
been
getting
seeing
serious. We
whatever.
need
Yeah,
to.
tell people, so on and so forth. And that's kind of how it was circulating in our medical circles.
Okay.
It's not until October when, the outbreak came. So yeah, anthrax was there. And since WHO had said that, there was an outbreak, they said that's the worst human anthrax outbreak they have seen in Zambia since 2011.
So we had another one in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
What were we doing in 2011? Were we just
I
being
was
like?
a baby.
Were we being like kids? Wait, no, I was still in
Where
high
was
school,
I?
right? Yeah.
No, I was like
I think I
probably
was still in high
studying
school.
for grade 9 exams.
Yeah, I was still in high school.
There I am, just revealing my age. No, guys, I'm 18. I'm a baby. Come on. But yeah, back then I do remember there was a time that like it became okay. Poaching has always been illegal, but it was kind of like more rare to get game meat. And like a lot of back then, I don't think people eat a lot of game meat now. Maybe it's just expensive. But like back then, we really used to like.
We had access to a lot of games.
Yes, we did. And there was a time when they were like recalling a lot of it. And I think it was because of anthrax. I was too young to remember that. But I do recall a time when they were recalling a lot of, recalling a lot of game meat because of an outbreak of anthrax. So that's interesting. So yeah, Zambia actually had a double epidemic of anthrax and cholera.
And I think because animal related, people knew about it, and then they
Yeah.
But
Vets
it was
and
yeah,
everything, because
and because people only cared because now now the tone was, oh, you don't have to eat this and you don't eat that. The minute you start to touch on people's stomachs, it's a problem. People's stomachs and people's emotions.
I remember being in Lusaka, people didn't give a shit. They were like, I'm gonna eat what I want to eat. I don't know.
No, and then the ignorant answers would be,
Yeah, if I die.
I'm like, okay, please, sir, do you want to do you seriously wake up in the morning like, I could just die on the road and I'll be fine. Like, no, sir, if you could just save not eating this for a while, you could save you some time.
Yeah, because that's the thing, is like the first recorded case was in Southern Province, but we don't know how it had spread, because at that time now we're like, oh, it's in humans now. So they recorded that, but at the time when we saw it, like, we don't know how the meat has moved from which area to which area. You get what I mean? So people are like, hey, just to be safe, do not eat this undercooked meat, or do not eat just any meat from the street, or just don't eat ABCD. And people are like, oh.
And then now, but the good part about that was now there was like a little counter check on just the proper butcheries. Did they have proper sanitations? Did they have proper stuff? Like those. The only bad part about certain issues like this are that when they happen at the wrong time.
Yeah.
General hygiene, cholera, anthrax, butcheries, and how you take care of meat, because that's delicate stuff that's going into people's stomachs. So you need to take care of those things as well as possible.
Because the butchery, even like,
Even just
minus
the
the
rearing, yeah.
sanitation,
Even
because
just the rearing of the
yeah,
animals.
where
Generally.
are they sourcing their meat?
True.
And it's like, if you just really want to get your cheap meat real quick and you don't even care what it has, did this cattle have any vaccinations, of, because there is an anthrax vaccination. So on the side of like the animals and whatever, where are you getting that from? It's not just game meat. This is just, that was my opinion. This is not written anywhere that it was because of game meat. Do not come for me.
Don't
But
come for in a comment.
yeah, but yeah, so
Hashtag she's on Facebook, Mwika.
yeah, you won't find me. I am on Twitch though, so
Okay.
segue to gaming. Yeah. So how they source their meat, it's really important, and it's interesting, and it's really sad because a lot of these things are under people's radar.
Okay.
You don't know that there's a cholera outbreak until you turn on the TV. Like, a lot of people are like closed off to it, and I think because I'm in the field and we get that information almost regularly, and you see the deaths, like, it affects you. People are like, yeah, I boil my water. What is it to me?
Do you know
But
what these general diseases do feel like? It's like you're writing an exam, and then when writing an exam, you have like leakage.
mm,
That's what you guys have. Like you guys have like first-hand information. Like,
yeah,
yeah, man, like ons are dying, and then we'll be
lungs and
like ons are dying, and then we'll be like, do we tell people? No, don't tell them till it gets bad, and then now you're going to have to tell the people that you love, like, you guys don't
guys,
do this.
don't, yeah.
Like, it's getting that bad. So
I,
it's always like that.
I
But
will
I do
say, yeah,
understand.
it feels like we have the leakage not to the paper itself, but to the results. We know before everyone.
You know, for everyone else,
You're like,
you see, yeah.
we failed. Oh no. Should we tell them?
Should we tell them that you
Maybe
failed?
let's, instead of telling them that we failed, let's tell them, guys, let's be studying. Let's wash our hands. Prevention is better than cure.
for
So
sure.
instead of telling them we failed, we'll tell them, let's study. That's the shit.
No, but that's true. That's true. And then on top of that, COVID's back. Yeah,
COVID.
I said it's not yet gone. It never went anywhere. But cases are not on the rise to an alarming rate, but they're there. You can read them in the papers for those that follow news. They
Yeah.
are back up. At the time when we're going through that,
Yeah, we're already going.
I mean, like,
And then on top of that, a pandemic. So one would say the epidemics came when we were already having a pandemic. It's like stacked upon, you know.
but then now what happens? Do we just stay indoors? Do we just write it off? Because already that time when COVID came, it came with its own baggage, and we're still feeling even the effects to today in terms of health wise. So now that we're going to almost get into another situation, hope God that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I don't want to be out here working from home. No, that was a horrible experience. It's not cool.
Yeah,
It's not cool.
with COVID, I don't think we're gonna see another situation as bad as that unless there's another wave of a different strain. So because they're like different strains, Delta and all sorts of things, like even as you're like, oh, there's a new outbreak, and the sources do have to specify if it's the
Oh,
same,
okay.
because COVID still has always been here. If it's the same one, or there's an outbreak of the new variant in the country. But I say all that to say, it's not meant to scare people or alarm people. It's more so of like awareness so that you don't relax. We're still in a global pandemic. It is just not as bad as it was. I don't think it will be because there's already measures. So there's the vaccines that have been, it's been like what, 3 years now. On top of the vaccines, there's like different measures that companies and just like the government itself has put in
Has
place,
put in place.
even though we don't need masks to go everywhere, but people are still conscious that they can wear a mask. Sometimes people, you should wear a mask even on a bus. You don't know
You
who.
don't know who has anything
Yeah.
anymore.
So that kind of like in people's brains, we don't have to just stay indoors, but because you already know that you can mask up and you should stand this far from
It's far
someone.
from somebody.
It's not, yeah, it wouldn't be
You wouldn't
as
have
bad
to
as
also stretch your hand out, because I think the idea of stretching your hands out also maybe it's also like a cultural thing, because when
yeah.
you show your hand, it's a sign of respect.
So you can just
With a clenched
sanitize.
fist, it's sort of like, hey, you
It's
don't
like, hey, yeah,
respect me.
boy, like, huh?
Hey, like, hey, you don't respect me. It's all that thing. So
Mm.
now people are really skeptical. Like, I'm not going to greet you, not because they don't respect you. I will
But
just.
because yeah,
There's what's
'cause
going on out there,
COVID's
like,
back.
yeah, so you don't want to have yourselves into those situations. So I think
Yeah.
I guess I do guess how we've got into this part, and just hopefully
Yeah, we will be okay. I will say COVID never really left, but the rise in more cases, because the cases just the cases just drastically reduced down to almost zero. And now that they're kind of, climbing back up, that's when we're like, oh, okay, COVID is back. No, it never really left. It's just because we put in all these measures, and these implements are the reason why we're still alive. You had the vaccinations, you had the sensitization of people, and it's all those kind of like strategies that were put in place that have brought us this far to be like, hey guys, we still have it. Like, just keep doing that with cholera. Just keep good hygiene, keep washing your hands. Hell, they go together side by side. COVID and cholera, wash your hands. With anthrax, it's not as common as the others, because if you kind of track Zambia's history, there are times when we do have like a lot of like cholera cases.
Yeah, so we
They
always
creep
have
up.
them. Yeah, they always creep up here and there, especially during the rain season.
But with anthrax, it's not something that's like, it's always coming every year. No.
Yeah, no. I do get it.
It's
I do
more
get it.
rare, yeah. So now it's just like reminding people, like, yes, lay off this meat until we figure out how to cure,
How
because
to
we have to stop the epidemic of the animals.
Yeah, lay off this meat. Yeah, I mean,
Lay off this double bag
this
meat.
this double bagged veined meat.
I love my Palo's face. I wish you were here. Can like the camera pan too?
Unfortunately, can't.
So yeah, so that's that about cholera. That's that about anthrax and COVID. I feel like if we were to dispel some COVID myths, we'll chart the
Yeah.
conspiracy theory waters. Which should we talk about some myths about
I,
COVID? What do you?
I don't know. The COVID means I had it in my mind. Like, are we ready to go down this road? Like, we'll literally be having a steak. So we'll be having like a steak on our back. Like, yeah, this guy said it, but
The
no, I
Shimi
don't know.
podcast, most controversial podcast on YouTube.
Yeah, they gave the
Conspiracy
a
theories.
very leftward, mysterious take on
Mysterious take.
COVID. Like, no, we didn't. We
just-
just talked about it. It's in public
It's
domain.
what
You know?
people were saying. The myth is what there. We're just reporting it.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, but
Yeah.
no, on the myths, we're not going to go into much. It's the myths are banter, but
You could like, okay, what myth do you wanna ask me? Do you have any
okay,
questions? I have one in mind, but
no. Before you go,
it's a double bagged one. So
no. I mean the one I want, the COVID one, is the one I'll ask is and I think you know the one it is on the vaccines. So I can't believe I had
Shimmy podcast,
No, I
the
can't
most
believe I had
controversial
yeah,
podcast
but I
on
can't
YouTube.
believe I had this conversation with someone and this person will kill me because I would have thrown out dirt sheet here. So they said, and I will not quote them directly, but vaccines will cause impotence. I never understood, even at the time, because I didn't have much knowledge. But of course, 3 years down the line and whatever, man, like, no, to make men impotent, babies will have side effects as a result of it.
Wait, was it? Are you the one that said that, or was
I
he the
didn't
one
say
that?
that.
Said
Why would I say anything like that? No, I'm not the one who said that.
Mapalo, do you believe that? Is do you think that Toast would be the one to say that
say something
vaccines
as
cause impotence?
Impotence, would I say that?
Old enough.
No, I wouldn't say that. Why
I
would I
don't
say
think
that?
age has
No, age does have something to do with it.
that he would think that.
I think the older people are very gullible when it comes to
Such.
to such rumors. I mean,
No, but I think
messages on
those forwarded messages that
Yeah,
she sees on
they were-
WhatsApp. No, but no.
No,
For real,
people are
maybe
being killed.
people.
Come home early.
Go-
That's what I think Nama said.
well,
Older
But-
people are killed.
well, if there was someone that was killed and they got their intestines, maybe that's why. But maybe it was kind of like a spam message that people are,
Yeah.
don't get the vaccine; it will cause
It
impotence.
will cause impotence, and you're like, no. And person was very convinced about it, but of course, we just had to find common ground and say, look, man, it's ridiculous. Like, this won't. it's not possible that can affect that, and then the kids know. I don't think it's good.
I think that was like a mixture of controversy and misinformation.
Okay.
I think the person, did they say it during the time when like COVID was just new?
That time was just hitting us, and we were just riding
Yeah,
it.
that was before the vaccine. So there was a lot of misinformation with the vaccine because a lot of people said, by the way, like throughout history, there's always been controversy with vaccines. Like, even though now there's a vaccine card that you have to vaccinate your babies until when and when, like, some people don't do that. Even though it saves you, why is there a controversy? Some people do think that, like, what's the point of giving me the virus so that I don't get sick if the virus, yeah. So it's like the misunderstandings of how a vaccine works and how,
I
you
think it's
know,
always overlapping whatever
yeah, because
general logic
yeah,
is supposed to be going on into this.
yeah,
things,
I could go into explaining different
Oh, no,
vaccines,
please,
but
please, please,
that
please.
would be okay. Let me give like a broad
Yeah,
a broad view.
just so
Yeah,
it then become Shimi,
I'm telling you,
it then become Shimi Medical
it should
Podcast.
be medical,
Yeah,
but it
so
really
just
would, because if you think that I would go on and on about gaming, whoa, even medicine, anything I'm interested in, honestly, I can talk for ages.
okay.
But yeah, the different vaccines. So there'll be a vaccine where you're given a weakened virus. Okay, you're like, boom. So the virus is there, but it's weakened. Why? So that your body, your own white cells, can attack that. And now they have a memory of having dealt with that.
Oh
So
yeah,
next
yeah.
time when that virus attacks you, they're like, boom, we got it. We got you.
We know what we gotta
We've
do.
counted. Yes. And then there's vaccines where you're just given the virus and it's not inactive. It's just dead. So basically, it's just acclimating your cells to recognize that such a thing can affect you, but it's
Okay.
not an alive, pathogen. So with uh COVID, once people kind of hear like, oh wait, you're giving me SARS. How can you give me something and I'm not going to get sick? Because you would get symptoms. You're like, okay, you get the vaccination and then you get the symptoms, but you've made me sick. So now you've given it to me and
No,
I'm
that's
gonna be
not. Yeah,
affected.
that's not the whole essence of it.
Yeah, and to do with the impotence, I mean, it had just happened and the vaccinations were just being given out. So not even enough time had passed
For
in
you to
terms
start
of
having,
research.
yeah.
Yeah, in terms of research for people to link it to impotence. If
But mans were
anyone,
out there doing their own investigations, and mans concluded to
yeah,
say
so that
that.
myth definitely more conspiracy than fact.
Definite. So we
Debunked. No, it hasn't been debunked. I am just a fifth year medical student.
we're just
at
trying to
Lebanon.
have some bad here, some better, some better.
Better.
Just some better.
Some better.
Just some better. So the other ones will be quick fire because Paulo says we have I don't know how many minutes to
Like
go
2.
to the next break. So quick fire ones. So
Can I say one?
yeah,
I'm
sure,
interested to know what you think.
No.
I,
Shoot,
I, I
shoot,
think
shoot.
I think I told you about it. What do you think about people not wanting to get HIV tested because they are fine? Like, if
Yeah.
I see it positive, I'll be sick.
No, that is just
Like, you wouldn't.
debunked. Like nah, it's not. It's not like
So-
how that's not just a mental thing. That has nothing to do
It
with
is
your
psychological,
actual.
yeah.
It's a psychological. It has nothing to do with your actual body recognizing that. Oh
And
yeah,
then you
now
get
I'm
sick.
sick. No, I get sick. No, like again, it also comes down to what I told you to say. Sometimes it's a cultural thing. It's like how
Yeah.
we are told when somebody gets sick, or back in the day when somebody got sick.
Yeah.
You only identified somebody was sick when they were told they were sick.
Yeah.
If they felt they were fine, they could be harboring God knows what diseases they were
Yeah.
all day, every day.
Yeah.
But the minute they were advised and told, man, you got this, instantly they're like,
They're like, oh,
it's like
bedridden.
it's not. It's like somebody gets shot with a bullet. Yeah, they won't feel it that they got
When
shot
they
with a
look.
bullet.
Oh.
It's only when they look or when they're told, no, boy, you got shot. Huh?
Oh, what?
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I feel it is with
Yeah.
getting sick and AIDS. I don't think it's fair because
Yeah.
if you're going to get checked, you just need to get checked so that you could identify if you have HIV,
Or if
if
you
you do
don't.
not. Yeah, rather than you stay ignorant about it and only realize it when it's a little
When it's
too late.
yeah,
You'd
exactly.
rather check it out, get tested, uh, find out if you need to get your meds, how to prevent it. You do that rather than sitting there comfortably be saying,
Yeah.
but me no. Me?
Real quick, I will say that because it is a psychological issue, and that's why it's important every time that people get tested, you are given like a psycho evaluation. So they give you counseling, whether you're negative or positive, you're supposed to be given counseling because you need to be like mentally okay.
Definitely, definitely.
But yeah, that's all the myths.
I will stop you just on that because we are going to another break. This is my Pablo's fault.
Yay!
It has nothing to do with me. I am the one. I'm just trying to let this podcast go straight. So we will be back after the commercial break.
Okay.
I. Balls. Ah.
Balls.
So we.
Some behind the scenes
So some behind the
banter.
scenes. Yeah. There's a camera on this side. I wish I had captured that. That would have
Oh,
been really good
yeah,
content. I
yeah.
have no idea why, but
Balls.
we'll be doing some behind the scenes content. Hopefully we can attach it to our coming TikTok channel and Instagram. Hopefully we'll
Nice.
have that time because yeah, it's really tricky handling a lot of social media stuff.
It really is. I would plug all my social media, but I'm like rarely on a lot of them because
Same.
like handling, like Instagram, Twitter, X,
Yeah.
Facebook. What's the other one?
But
Snapchat.
do you think it's still? Do you think it's going to catch on in the lingo like X? Like, man,
No.
are you an X? Like, I would tell you, I'm on Twitter.
Nobody wants to call it X.
Is it
no.
like nobody? Like it's now.
Maybe because they hate Elon Musk.
Yeah, because of what he's done. So, is it going to catch on that we just be saying, "Oh, yeah, I'm on X"?
Yeah, I'm on X.
Yeah, because
Sounds weird.
it sounds weird, but yeah, I just
Sounds like you're on a point.
Exactly.
yeah,
That's what
you're
people
like,
are
man,
like,
are you an
why?
X? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm on X.
Ask me if I'm on X. Ask me if I'm on X.
Are you an X?
X rated. Hey!
So okay away from that.
Okay, serious.
Let's just continue on the health myth. The
Health talk. Myths?
health
Yeah.
myths. Yes, the English almost went and I almost said something else, but yeah, let's just close up on that so we can go to the next topic. So quick fire ones.
Okay.
Just say yes or no.
Okay.
Eggs are not healthy.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Is it no like no it's not a myth or no it's a myth?
No, it's not a myth.
Okay, no.
Yes, it's true.
But like some of these things is like you need explanation though.
And
Because I can be on fitness Twitter, fitness YouTube and be like, eggs are good. I'm like, no, egg whites because there's a lot of calories in the yolk. But anyway, I'll stick
man
with no.
will be eating there just for the sake of it.
I
Okay.
say no, not a myth.
Antiperspirants cause breast cancer.
I'll say no.
Question.
Uh,
Question.
what's the question?
How would antiperspirants?
'Cause-
Antiperspirants for like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like.
So the point would be
And-
no.
Do you put it under the boob?
That's what I wanted to ask.
No, so so I think the person would be thinking of like the antiperspirant having some carcinogens, and because the axilla is what this area is called, like the armpit and whatever, it kind of like it goes into the. I don't wanna grope myself on the podcast, Mapalo. I mean that's.
Oh Lord! Like,
That's for the separate page. That
Yeah,
they
that's
don't
that's
know
that's for the
about.
separate OnlyFans.
Links
page.
in the. Oh no, you said
I'm
it.
gonna just squeeze it in. I told you.
You
Okay.
did.
Last 3. Toilet seats can transmit STDs.
Silence. I will say.
I've had funny stories about that.
No, no. This is me being genuine because I can ask.
As a girl, I will say that those are my credentials. I am a girl. As a girl that has also
You identify
lived,
yourself as a girl.
as a girl that has also lived in like boarding houses, I won't say STDs, but there is like a very pesky infection. That's like very common, and you can get it from sharing toilets. That's yeast infection. So for this one, because you've specified STD,
Sexually transmitted diseases.
I will say myth. I'll say no.
All right.
All right. Grant us eyes.
Okay, let's go.
Do you know where that's from? It's a game called Bloodborne.
Okay.
Okay.
Coffee stunts your growth. I have no idea.
Like how early would you start drinking it though? Like if like a kid, like I'm 5 years and I drink coffee.
I don't think so. I don't think you're allowed to drink coffee at age 5.
Yeah, but that's the thing is for you to say stunt growth, it means it's during the time you're still growing.
Mm, I guess
So
so.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
I'm gonna say myth.
Last two. Microwaving your food is bad because it kills all the nutrients.
No, 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 no.
This is a very funny one, but
Okay.
I have to say it.
Okay,
5-second rule.
okay.
When you do something, 5-second rule. When
Is
you
it
pick
a
it up, it's
myth?
fine.
Because I follow it, I'm gonna have to say. Wait, did I say no? It's not a myth. Wait, so when I've been saying no,
No, when you say no,
no means it's a myth.
it's a myth.
Okay, I'm gonna say. What am I? I don't know. It's not. What 5-second rule is a myth, but
It's
it works.
Food has dropped on the ground. 5 seconds, you can pick it up. It's good to go.
Yes.
Okay.
Whatever. Yes. Yes or no.
So
but
yes, it's true.
Yes. You can pick it up.
All
By
right.
the way, we were talking about cholera. I'm not saying go pick up food on the ground.
Hey, Zone, and fine. Okay. Here's the scenario. What do you like? What do you like to eat?
Fish.
Fish. Okay, so
It's my
fish.
favorite.
So we're going to track back. So fish, you're eating this nicely grilled bream fish. And where does it fall?
On the
In the
ground.
no, not just any ground. Muddled, puddled water.
Ew, with the maggots.
With that maggot.
With
That
the
size-
hybrid.
With the hybrid
With the
maggot.
hybrid maggots.
Are you going to take 5 seconds? And still eat it?
I can take a fraction of a sec. No, the way it looked, no. I love
Yeah,
fish,
then
but
there you go,
no, I will wash the fish.
Nah, forget it. It's not possible. Like, you're not going to backtrack and
Not
decide to do
going
it. It's done. It's possible. Like, it's impossible. It's done.
It's done.
It's done. Okay, so
All right.
let's now go straight into the main topic.
Okay,
Of course, the
good.
main topic was supposed to be health, but we're now going to segue into games.
Yeah, the second main topic.
Yeah.
The myth of game. No. Yeah, the second main topic, which I have been waiting for
Forever.
forever.
Mm-hmm.
We can finally talk about it.
It's your time.
It is
Sure.
my time. Are you sure we want to talk about? Okay, so let's talk about games.
Okay.
The lore behind games.
Mm-hmm.
If you could change the lore behind, famous franchises, like say God of War, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you could change the lore of God of War, there's no Kratos, there's no God of. He's the God of what?
God of. Is Christ
War?
God of War?
Is he the God
Almost
of War?
said God of
It's
Thunder.
in the
Almost said
name.
the God of Thunder. Jesus.
Necessarily.
Kratos.
Kratos.
Is War. Kratos is War.
No, not Thor. Kratos.
Oh, no, he's the God of War.
It literally says God of War. Yeah.
Not
So if you
necessarily, but yeah.
But the game is the game is God of War.
Yeah, he killed the God of War because he killed
somebody.
Yeah.
God of War.
He did kill and then he became a god because he wasn't a god, and then he killed the god. He was a demigod.
No, I remember knowing this story is just gone.
Yeah.
There was a time when I had to go down the YouTube rabbit hole and just find these amazing people that combined these stories just to tell you the story.
Yeah.
And
the
that's how I
lore.
managed to catch up with a lot of
Yeah.
these stories.
That's the lore of the game. Yeah.
Yeah, so if I'm going to
so if
change
you
that,
could change it using, historical stories or even just folklore
so if we're going to use folklore, maybe
or historic, it could be historic.
I think Shaka would work. The story of Shaka, but now attach it to the law of
God of War.
So that would
Ooh.
mean
And
you
I
are-
mean, Shaka did go to war with like so many nations.
Exactly. And then of course
God of War.
the famed Kaho formation and all that Assegai spears and his
Yeah.
shield. I mean the shield would have like as you're going, maybe okay, let's just preach this. So Shaka has a young man. It's first of all it's going to be a first person game, so you don't really get to see him. So
So we're Shaka.
yeah, so we're Shaka. We'll be picking up my berries,
Yeah.
killing okay,
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll kill animals because
We will kill
we,
animals.
we don't know. We don't know. Sometimes you can just because it's Shaka and I'm like, no, but why killing the animals? So we'll be picking my berries just
Yeah.
for survival in some animals.
Yeah.
Then as we go, we're building armor. for building strength, for building armor. So we even have at some point we get a shield, we get a spear.
So like the linear progression.
Yes, it'll be like a linear
so
progression. So we'll just get a backdrop from the story and just make it into now
Kratos.
something that can be taken into like a adventure game. And now the end game will probably be to conquer the whole nation.
Yeah.
And be the overlord, chief, or
That's
king.
cool as the end. Yeah. So who would we have to kind of defeat? Who would be our final boss? For us to be the British. That's interesting. That is cool.
No, but
That's
a lot
interesting.
A lot of these American games have had the Nazis and whatever. The British should be the last people to kill. You know who would be the person to kill? Cecil Rhodes.
That would be interesting.
That would be really cool.
In terms of the game mechanics, you know, because in games, obviously, you have the gameplay, you have the level design on the terms of like the development aspect. You developing your Shaka game with your template of God of War. What kind of game mechanics would you use? Like you talked about the assegai and the shield. Like, would it be a parry system? Would he be able to parry with the shield and block, or would it just be, you know, a blocking? By the way, I said parry system because there's this thing in like the gaming community where like if a game has a parry, some people say that if a game has a parrying system, it's likened to a Souls game. Okay. You know, like the Bloodborne, Dark Souls. I digress. So, yeah, what kind of mechanics would you have? Like, describe to us in like God of War backdrop. You know, what would he do with his assegai? Would it be like the axe that he can call and come back, or would it be a secondary weapon? You know, like what?
I think if we're going to go into that part, we could say the spear is. I'm trying to liken it to like Hitman. You know how Hitman has this Hitman's basic arsenal is different ways that he kills, but Hitman's was associated with a gun.
With a gun, yeah.
So even Shaka would be from inception would be associated with a spear. So maybe what would probably grow into the game would be the spear or the grade of the spear. It would be something small first. Sharp, but then he keeps upgrading. The spear keeps getting better.
So that's his primary weapon.
That's his primary weapon to a point where maybe that spear now has like spiritual powers on it. Maybe that's how that's how it will even be glowing. Like at some point when it's like killing like Cecil Rhodes like from afar, it will even have like to my spear. Sky there's like a sangoma in there. So you see, the guy will be the sangoma. The guy will be the sangoma.
And you'd have to like go talk to him, and he does something with your weapon for it to be upgraded.
You see, and the shield, and that's what's going to be, and that's how the journey is going to be. So even when he's killing Cecil Road, you'll be like,
I like that.
Yeah, and then it goes though that will be only come at the last part. I don't want it to be a whole type of dynamic where it's come back now. It's on you. It will die with you. You just move with it like that until the final part. So it just feels more gratifying. Like, oh yeah, I've been upgrading this spear so it can actually fly.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so another part of game design is, I think you've touched on it a little bit, it's the creative aspect. But now I want to know what kind of design of Shaka would you like? Would he have his loin cloth? Would it change? Would he be blue like Kratos?
No, I think
would he
course.
be black like
First
Shaka's bum?
Of course, he's a nigger. So things first. First things first. Yeah, he'd be black. Would we clothe him up for sure? I'll take his.
But Shaka always had like the iconic thong though.
So. Yeah, he did. But again, the fact that it would be
iconic.
because when the movies came out, that's how it was depicted.
That's the OF tag.
Oh, about it. So
iconic.
It was like a legendary one, but no. So if we're going to go with Shaka in a thong, I don't know how we're going to. No, because we won't actually see Shaka. What we will see instead.
In the cutscene, you will see like.
Okay, no, yes, in the cutscene we'll see him. Yes, but we also have to see his warriors. His people say that. So that's another dynamic. Yes, that's when I'll have to see the dynamics.
I like that.
So
Okay, I like that.
Okay, I guess we just have to put parental control to say, hey man, if you wanna watch this, you're gonna have to be ready to see some black niggas ass. Probably,
Disclaimer.
yeah.
Black niggas
Pause though.
ass.
Pause.
Pause.
Pause. Yeah. So,
Mm.
but for them,
Sketch.
sketchy, sus. The sus game, eh? I'm like, hey, what's going on in this? Just seeing a lot of females out here upgrading on that Shaka Bandak. I wanna get that
I
game.
wanna
Are you
get
sure,
that
girl?
game. I don't know why. So
Uh-huh.
for me, when I thought about like reimagining certain games to do with like history or folklore or whatever,
Mhm.
first thing I thought of was, I don't know why I wanted to say Jack and Jill. I just remember Jack and Jill were a thing. Hansel and Gretel.
Did you ever know the songs, the words to the song? Jack and Jill went
I,
up the hill to
are you
fetch
gonna
a
tell me that
pail
I've
of
been saying it
water.
wrong?
Jack went up
Stop.
and broke his crown, and
Actually,
Jill
in
came running
one
after.
no, it's Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water.
Jack
Jack
went up
up
and broke
and
his
broke his
crown, and Jill came tumbling after.
after. He
Do you
broke
know
his
how I
crown.
knew?
Wow,
Do you
really?
know how I knew that?
How did you know?
There was a book. It was like an audio book, and my dad got it for me. It was. We just had like a new computer with the whole Karukova at the back, whatever. Yes,
Yeah,
it was amazing, and
good times.
good times, good times. And then that was the time to my encyclopedia was there. It was a
It
great
was
time.
good.
It was a simple
That's
time.
the time when you had the learning how to type thing.
Yes, simple time, simple time.
Simple time.
And so
Plants
that's why
vs
yes,
Zombies. Simple time.
simple time, simple. Oh, such a legendary game.
I love that game.
Such a legendary.
Can we talk about Plants vs Zombies?
Iconic.
I think honestly,
On your Mount Rushmore of games, top 10, would it be there?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. Original Plants vs Zombies though, because there is Plants vs Zombies 2, which we don't talk about too. It's the scars of 2, but
Uh-huh.
Plants vs Zombies, the original game, definitely on my top tier list. If I don't want to say top 5 because there's some really good ones.
Okay. No. We'll dive into that.
We'll
as
dive
time
into,
goes.
but yeah, I would put it at that. But
Okay. Just to also maybe redirect you on just
Yeah,
what
sure.
we're talking about. You talked about game mechanics.
mm,
Is there any game like you've talked about Jack and Jill before I
mm.
decided to distract you with my
It's
singing?
okay. It
So,
was Hansel and Gretel, but
Yeah,
it's okay.
yeah. So Hansel and Gretel, what would you put? What
Hansel
spin
and
on it
Gretel.
would you put it?
So, man, I'm gonna take you on a wild ride here. So,
Mhm.
there's a game called Slay the Princess or The World Ends.
Mhm.
Apollo, have you heard of it? Oh, you're not a. So the premise, okay, let me like
Opalo is a Candy Crush guy.
He's a Candy Crush guy. What level are you on?
What the damn shame, man.
Neither have I.
And he will
I
proudly say, "Nah, man, me I play games."
He's like, no, he's the type of I haven't played Candy Crush in a while, but I'm like level 2763. So should I
You
say
know,
my level?
I'm not a fan of Candy Crush. I don't know. It
Really?
just doesn't amuse me.
Arguably the best
It doesn't
best
really
Candy
work, I
Crush.
just don't like it.
I'm putting this on the internet. The best Candy Crush is Candy
You could
Crush
face
Jelly
the camera so I can.
No, soda.
Jelly Saga. I knew you'd say soda. Jwack. Jelly. Jelly.
Boring.
Not a
Saga's
clue. Not a
boring.
clue what is
Oh,
going on here, ladies
soda's
and
boring.
gentlemen. Not
But
a
yeah,
damn
I'm
clue.
putting it out there on the internet. The Jelly Saga is the best Candy Crush. But no, so the premise of Slay the Princess or The World Ends is it's a story-based narrative game where you basically pick options as the game progresses of what you want to do. The game tells you what you're supposed to do, which is to slay the princess. And so you start in some woods and you're like, where am I going? What am I doing? There's a cabin at the end of those woods, and the narrator is narrating what you're doing and what you're supposed to be doing. So he'll tell you you're in the woods, blah, 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 and you're going to walk up to the cabin and slay the princess. So now you, as the character, have options, and you could decide, like, wait, why are we slaying the princess? Can we not slay the princess? And so you go in there, and depending on what, there'll be like minor spoilers. Depending on what you do choose, you could choose to say, okay, I'm not gonna slay you. I'm not gonna slay the princess. Then there's an outcome. You die. You're back at the beginning.
Damn.
And it's like a loop. You're like, well, yeah, on this path you're on, and you're like, wait, hold on a second. I've been here before. The narrator's like, no, you have. How can you be here? You're just here. So as the game progresses, you find you're in a loop And like I don't want to spoil the ending because I would also recommend you to play this game, but the loop kind of like even as you go back, you're like, wait, the place looks different. The dungeon where the princess is kept is different, and so on and so forth. So how I would change that now to Hansel and Gretel, the story of Hansel and Gretel being in the forest and they find the candied house because they were so hungry, and then they go in and it's a witch that wanted to blah blah blah. Hansel and Gretel are the ones at the beginning of the forest, and at the end of the path, it's not a cabin, but the candy house. So now you start the journey being like you're going in to slay
So
the
are they
witch.
both like it's like what do they call those games where you're with somebody? Not the one I talked about, like yeah with like the split.
Co-op or
So like a
something.
co-op game.
Yeah, but this game is narrative, so you don't even see your character. It's
Okay.
like it's a really interesting experience for me to like explain. But you don't
No,
even
no, go
see
on,
your
go on, go on,
character,
go on,
but
go
you
on,
just know that it's both Hansel and Gretel. And the difference in here is that Hansel and Gretel can kind of talk to each other in the way that the voices in Slay the Princess or The World Ends talk to each other. So what I didn't mention is when the loop starts up again, like you go, you didn't kill her, you get killed, you come back, there'll be like more voices, not just yours. Because in the beginning, there was your voice and the narrator's voice. Now there's the voice of, as an example, the skeptic. So he's like, the narrator says, you're going to walk up the path and you're going to go kill the princess. And the skeptic is like, why are we killing the princess? And you, as the hero, is like, well, because the narrator said. But then, yeah, you're right. Why? So it's like a site. Yeah. So in that sense, Hansel and Gretel would play off each other and be like, let's go kill the witch. But if you know anything about the game that I'm talking about, there's like multiple endings and different ways to do it. And I think it would be a cool spin on whether or not Hansel and Gretel would kill the witch. Like, is the witch good? Is she bad? Does she really want to eat us? Or is she also just hungry like we are? Yeah. So that's how I would do that. The second one, oh my gosh, I have like two, but I'll mention this one because I think it's more interesting. We've talked about a kind of linear adventure type, no, not adventure, like hack and slash type game like Shaka. I've talked about a narrative driven game, and I want to talk about roguelikes. So you know what a roguelike is, right? It's a game like, do you know Hades?
Yeah.
That's a roguelike or roguelite. So basically, you have progression through different kind of areas of the game, and then you have things that you start with and then items that you can find through your run that you don't go back with essentially. So each run is different. Now, in that roguelike setting, hear me out. Jack and the Beanstalk. So the end goal. So I'll use Hades as an example.
Okay,
The end
okay,
goal,
okay,
yeah. So the end goal of Hades is for you to finally defeat your father, which is what's this guy's name? Who? No. The
Hades Chronos.
no, not Kronos. He's the is the son. Sorry, Hades is the person that you're defeating. You are
Like
playing.
Not Hercules. What's the
No, Hades is the one you're defeating. You're playing his son. His son
Okay.
is called not Thanatos. Thanatos is the other one. The point being,
I almost said Poseidon.
so your Poseidon's in the game too. The point being that Zeke, no, no.
But this is like the overall guy, though, right? Yeah.
Anyway, so you as the player, you're gonna defeat Hades, who's your father, and you go through a series of like whatever, like there's multiple stages and each level gets you closer to getting out of hell. The very last one where you have to defeat Hades is because you're trying to get out of hell, and there's so many levels of hell. Now, Jack, get into the giant. Each point is like you going through each kind of run of getting to the giant to defeat the giant, right? So like you'd have, so Jack would start out, he wouldn't start out with a lot because Jack was like poor. Just like in a roguelike, you don't really start with anything and you find items as you go. Yeah, and you go get more powerful the more that you die. So as you're ascending up the beanstalk and you keep dying and you keep progressing, and each point segment is like the beanstalk is it's really long. So there's like the part that you can kind of see, and there's a middle part, and there's a part that's in the clouds.
Also, like different sections.
Exactly.
That'd be cool.
Jack and the Beanstalk as a roguelike.
That'd be really, really
Yeah.
cool.
Game
That'd be
devs,
really
get on it.
cool. If you're out there and you like what we're talking about, please just tell it to somebody at not EA.
Eh,
Maybe
eh,
somebody
eh,
maybe at somebody at
5 minutes left.
at somebody at,
When we-
at GameSoft. What at GameSoft? What's this game? Someone at
Ubisoft,
Ubisoft
yeah,
to
Ubisoft
make
to
that
make
game, like
a.
for Christ's sake.
I thought you
So
said you're not a gamer, Mapalo.
no, it's more. The thing with us guys, especially at the age we're at, we're like sleeper agents. We just need the trigger word. That's all we need. You see, all he needed was pa. Because the minute I
Soft, and he's
will
like Ubisoft.
Ubisoft, all you need is all you need is like keywords and you're up.
Yeah.
I think yeah, we'll go with that. Hello.
Hey.
Back with the like third, fourth commercial break now.
Should,
With
yeah.
no commercials.
We're paying the bills, guys. We're paying the bills. I mean,
Definitely, but no, still no commercials. I don't know why we do these.
yeah,
breaks with no
you're paying the
commercials.
bills because I'm expensive. Okay, he talked about how he wanted me to be on the podcast this whole time. I'm expensive, so
Def.
gotta pay
So
me.
we will not labor too much on what we initially wanted to talk about because Mapalo is such a D word, and he's like, no, I don't want us to talk about this. I want us to do this.
Yeah, Mapalo hates us.
Yeah, Mapalo
Like
just
he's not
doesn't-
even here
Mapalo-
on the
Mapalo
table.
hates the vibe here.
He hates the vibes. Just because he's not a gamer.
Mapalo hates the vibes here. I'm just saying, Mapalo hates the vibes here. So
So we
just
have to wrap it up.
we just have to wrap it up. So just in conclusion to the game segments, I think a lot of folklore stories making their way into games would be really interesting because these gamers always stick or border around the same thing.
The same thing, yeah.
I like how, especially the I can't say East. I can't say okay. I'll just characterize as Asia. So that's Japan, Korea, and whatever these guys that make
yeah,
their games.
yeah.
I like how they always put their lore into their games. So
Yeah.
whether it be in the Street Fighters, Mortal Kombat is obviously
Yeah,
in North
yeah,
America.
yeah.
Street Fighter. I don't know if Hitman
Ghost
is.
of Tsushima.
Yes, we could put.
Sekiro.
we could put even Hitman there.
Hit-
Just for the sake of it. I know Hitman
Yeah.
is not. Yeah, but how they put their lore into their games.
Yeah.
Of course, Africa.
Even
has-
Greek mythology. It's like a lot of
Yes,
a lot of
it
other people
will
put,
always borrow those things, but if even our lore can be
yeah,
borrowed
it
on
can be, yeah.
Do you know what would be
We
nice?
should tell our own stories.
Do you
We
know what would be
shouldn't
nice?
wait.
And I think we are getting to the point where we've got the capable engineers that can do the job.
Yeah.
I think we've got capable gamers that can actually create a really good game based off it. Of course, though, the mechanics like you've talked about, what engines these things would be running on, it'd be
Yeah.
quite tricky in aspect, but it could work. It could really work.
It could. That's why it's important just to like know what it takes to make a game, because you can have a concept, but then what goes into it is really important. Like, yeah, you'd use the game engines and what have you. Like, if it's a really big game, like the way you're talking about Kratos, you could use Unreal Engine 5. Or the indie games I was talking about, you could use Unity. We're not going to talk about the politics of what happened with Unity, but yeah, so you could use those game engines and then formulate your gameplay and the mechanics through like what the story that you want to tell is. You know, it's not every game is going to be a big AAA game of Shaka, just like the small little games of like how are we going to imagine the gameplay of this folklore or this story of the Miloni brothers, like you say, Mushala. Like, how do we tell our own stories through games? If movies can tell our stories, it's time for us to branch out.
Imagine if Mushala was told like a Call of Duty story. That'd be epic. That
Right?
game out here, Solar Link KK. That'd be so amazing, man. That'd be-
So
Uh-huh.
yeah, so it's time for us to branch out into different forms of media and tell
But
our
who,
stories.
But who do you think would
Zambians,
own like who
Africans.
who do you think would own like the what's that?
Oh, I'm
Oh
sorry.
no, but we keep going in like
Ah!
hater number.
Yeah.
Sorry, last one.
Yeah.
So imagine if no, what I wanted to talk about was like imagine who would own the rights to those names like KK, Mushala,
Yeah.
all these other characters that would be lured into that game would be really interesting to know
It
because
would
those
be.
people would need to benefit from
From us telling the story.
using their names. You know,
Yeah.
that would be really really cool. But you know what I do miss though about just general gaming, even as much
Me?
as I may say. No. Even as much as I would say I do miss regular gaming,
Yeah.
the E3s. E3s were amazing. E3s were amazing. I miss the fact that as guys, there was a time when E3s came out and we just sit and dissect the come on, that game.
Yeah,
That game was
yeah.
ass. We've never
Yeah.
played it, but it was like that
Yeah,
game
it
looks
was.
ass. Yeah, that game looks
That's
ass.
the thing. You've never played the game, but you felt
Yeah, definitely.
sorry,
about
Mapalo.
to die.
No, but he's signaling that the battery's about.
Oh,
I don't know
no.
why
So
we're
we
doing
can't-
all these things. We're like breaking down the things that happened behind the scenes, but okay, no worries. Here to save the day.
It's okay.
Uh,
We're very candid when I'm around. It's free flowing, you know.
Yeah,
we break
definitely.
the fourth wall with Mapalo over there. Hey, so
Yeah. So
is there time
so
for the game?
it's time for a game. So we've got a
Yay.
new
Mwika's
section we'll be
Corner.
called Mwika's.
Because
I would say Mwika's corner or Mwika's
blind
blind.
ranking game. I don't know. Mapalo,
Alright.
what do you think?
Mika's corner.
Okay. So we'll do it. It's
Hey.
called Mwika's corner
Nice.
for now going forward.
Oh, nice.
So I don't want to go into too much of the dynamics into the game, but
Well, the game's simple. I mean, I'm sure people have heard about it. Blind ranking. You're given a bunch of names, probably 5. You can choose how many you want. You do not know, by the way, which name comes or which thing comes next. So if I
Okay.
tell you like blind rank 5 sport things that happened, I'll just tell you Lionel Messi's goal that one time. And you have to rank it 1 to 5, and you don't know what comes next. So if you
Awesome.
put it at 5, and then there's a shitty goal, you just gotta put it at 1.
yeah, and you suffer with that guilt for the rest of
Pretty
your life.
much, yeah.
All right. So I will give you these 5. I do not know if we're going to do 5 of mine. Well, Mapalo's a hater. But we're
We
gonna
can
go
do
with
you. It depends on
this
the.
one. Just definitive said no. But
Okay,
anyway, we'll
we
go
we
with
can
this
do
one.
me since I'm the guest.
Yeah,
And yeah.
So all right. So we are going to do movies.
Movies.
1 to 5.
I don't even watch movies. Okay, 1 to 5.
All right. So the first one is Joker.
Oh, I loved the Joker when I saw. I'm gonna say.
No, like Joker though.
Yes, I know the
yeah.
Joker. I'm gonna say 1.
Yeah.
I am
Okay.
that confident. Nothing
You
else
end up
will
finding
come.
your favorite movie.
I tell you,
Okay.
but I doubt
We'll
it.
go with 1.
We'll say 1. What's the next one?
Oh my God, the Shawshank Redemption. It's a Morgan Freeman movie about prison and them.
I don't know
escaping.
it. 5.
Damn. Even I didn't
Bye.
like. Even I didn't like that movie. But yeah, it's a very soulful movie.
Yeah. That's the one.
The Schneider's List.
Ooh, Schneider 2. I'll say 2.
Okay, I don't even know that guy. I don't
His-
know the movie.
Are you gonna tell the internet you don't know who
I don't know.
Zack Schneider is?
No, it's not Zack Schneider. It's just,
You said.
it's okay. How do you?
What
spe-
do you think?
How do you say that name? See, it's not Schneider.
Really?
Schneider. Oh,
You should have said.
Oh, okay. Disclaimer: it's Schindler.
Yeah.
Schindler's List. Then
So
she's put it at
that's
number
on
2.
number 2 because
Okay,
of,
okay. So the next movie is The Usual Suspects.
ooh 3.
Okay.
Man, what's my number 4 now? I feel like I'll switch.
The Pianist.
I don't even know
I think
that
you know
movie.
what.
Do you
we
know
will-
it,
You know what? Scratch that. Scratch that. We are not doing that one. Let's just randomize again and pick one. Okay, video
I
games
love it.
now. Video games.
Ooh, yes, yes, yes,
Video
yes, yes,
games.
yes, yes, yes.
So Pokemon.
Pokemon, I'm gonna have to say 4.
Okay.
I'm not a huge Pokemon fan, but it's good.
Roblox.
Roblox 5.
Ah, didn't
5.
even just think about the movie. GTA.
2.
Imagine GTA, but in the copper belt. The amount of insults.
Yeah. Allah.
Okay, 2.
Yes, number 2.
Okay. Half-Life.
Ooh. Is 4 still there? It's
You
taken.
put Pokemon.
Pokemon, yeah, Half-Life 3, which means my number 1 is
Red Dead Redemption.
I'm okay
So
with that.
lucky.
I like it.
So lucky.
Yes.
So Red Dead Redemption, Grand
Yeah.
Theft Auto,
Yes.
Half-Life,
Yes.
Pokemon,
Yes.
and Roblox.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
like that list. I like
And
that one.
on that note,
It's
we
a
will
good one to
come
wrap
to
up
the
with.
end of this chaotic episode because
I
of my
know,
palo.
because we're
And
gonna
his
blame
big
Apollo.
shit.
Because
We
of
haven't even
you.
come with your audacity.
Because of you guys can't keep time.
What
It's
do you
not-
mean you can't
Oh,
keep time? How
wow.
dare you?
Can't keep time.
I
How
was-
dare you?
I'll cut my pen, huh?
Relax.
Thank
How-
you guys
how
for having
dare
me on the
you?
Shimi podcast. I was told I'd be given more than 1 hour, but I don't keep time apparently. I really appreciated coming here talking about health, talking about games, 2 of my favorite things. Hopefully next time I'll have more time to talk about what I love.
Probably won't. He's a dictator.
He probably
here.
won't, yeah. I told him let's talk about anime. He's like, no.
Liars.
But anywho, guys.
Next time you see me, we'll probably be talking about anime.
Yeah,
Let's just be fair. And
Thanks
games.
so much for giving us your time.
Thank
We appreciate
you.
your efforts coming to watch our episodes. So please check them out on YouTube at the Shimi Podcast. You can also listen to them on Apple. We are now on Apple. Yay! Thanks, Mapalo. He found a way. He's a cheater. So yeah.
Because you were always on Spotify, right?
Always on Spotify.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
on Spotify, we're on
Thanks, Mapalo.
Google Podcasts. We're now on Apple Podcasts. You can check them out on those. And please do follow us on our socials. That's on Facebook, on Twitter. We'll appear on others as well as
Yeah.
time goes on. But please,
Like the video, comment. That helps. Subscribe to the channel.
definitely,
Shimi Podcast.
definitely.
Look for me on Twitch, Mwika. Mwika24.
Oh, she does. She's on Twitch. Yeah. She's on
Yay.
Twitch. She's on Twitch.
I haven't
And
streamed, but-
please, for all your branding, shirt branding, business cards, general advertising, and everything relating to advertising and marketing, please do visit Etc. Studios. They are
etc.
situated in Parklands, opposite Parkland Secondary School. Please do get in touch with them on Facebook and on Instagram. Yeah, at Etc. Studios.
LinkedIn.
Oh, LinkedIn. I don't know
LinkedIn.
why I said Instagram. I'm so social. So yeah, that is it. And
Thank
Mapalo is
you.
doing this wheel thing, like to tell us to wrap up.
Because
But
he
we
loves
will not,
us.
You
It's
will
a
not
big
wrap up. You will not
hug.
keep us.
Of goodbye.
Silence. You will not. You will not.
It's not me.
Mapalo's threats. I think he's just gonna turn the camera off.
He's got a knife now, guys.
Yeah,
he's got a
he's
knife,
threatening
ladies and
us.
gentlemen.
He's
And,
like, stop talking.
And on behalf of that, we thank you so much for
Thank
your time.
you.
And please do keep watching the Shimi podcast. Till the next time. Meet host
Bye. And me, Mwika.
What did we call you? The Shimi doctor? Did we
Yeah.
say the Shimi doctor?
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Sounds like I'm a
Mwika the
witch
Shimi
doctor.
doctor.
Shimi
But
doctor.
which one?
Oh, and that's a wrap, guys.